So now we're going to talk a little bit about reputation management, which I think is an important part of internet safety as well, is being able to create your reputation online in a way that enhances potential opportunities for you down the road instead of restricting them. So let's start out with this question. Do employers really Google potential job applicants to see what they've posted online? I mean, do they really do that? And I think you know the answer to that. The answer is yes. And maybe if you have some experience with this, you can share that in the comments as kind of a testimonial to this. But the answer is, of course, and this is 4 years old, this data. And 4 years in internet time is like 20 years of real time. It's kind of ridiculous how fast things happen on the internet. But 4 years ago, 1 in 5 U.S. employers said that they were checking their candidates via social networks. Guarantee you that is quite a bit higher nowadays. I need to try to find some up-to-date numbers for that. I just barely sold a home, and one of the first things I did was Google stalked the person buying our home to see what kind of person this person was, whether I could trust him in the negotiations, whether he could be a worthwhile, trustworthy person. So, it's not just for jobs, it can be for a lot of things. Credit reports. I hear that sometimes for loans, people are looking people up on the internet before they'll give them loans. So there's a lot of things that you need your reputation for, and very critical that you maintain a good reputation online. And, the first two are kind of obvious, right? Don't talk on the internet about alcohol or drug use or post skanky photos of yourself. You already know that. And you don't do that already. I know that you guys aren't doing that kind of thing. But what you may not know is that there's a whole bunch of other things you can get, you can ruin your reputation for. For example, poor communication skills. If they're looking for most jobs want people that can communicate pretty well. And if they look you up on the internet and find a bunch of grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes, then they're gonna form, for better or for worse, and maybe it's not fair, but they're gonna form an opinion about you, and that will play into their decision. So, be careful about the way you communicate on the internet. Definitely be careful about bad-mouthing former employers or employees. I make it a policy not to talk at all about work or church service or anything that is dealing with other individuals. I don't talk about them on the internet, even with close friends. You know how I mentioned in Facebook I have close acquaintance and whatever? There are certain things I just will not talk about to anyone on the internet. I might talk to my wife in private, but I just will not talk about it on the internet. Too much potential for offense, for hurting someone, and for getting yourself in trouble. Inaccurate qualifications. You say one thing, but they do a search on the internet, find out it's not true. Unprofessional screen names. If your email is littlebonniefufu@gmail.com, that is less impressive than if you had a more professional email. Notes showing links to criminal behavior, and recognize that your definition of criminal behavior may not be the same for everyone. If you talked about how much fun it was toilet papering someone's house last night, that may not be super impressive to somebody, even though other people might think that's just a great joke. Confidential information about past employers can also get you in big trouble. So just be very careful about what you're posting on the internet. And as we go through that, it starts to say, well, shoot, that doesn't sound like any fun. I've talked about restricting what you post and being careful who you post and who you post it to and all that kind of thing. Well, how can you still have fun on the internet and yet still develop a good online reputation? So maybe answer that question down below in the comments. And I'd like you to also answer this question, not just how can we avoid posting negative things, but how can we actually actively enhance our reputation so that when we go out for a job, they Google search us and they find lots and lots of positive stuff about us as well. I'll give you an example. When I applied here at BYU, my department chair, one of the things he told me in the interview said, oh, by the way, good website. And he had Google searched me and found good things about me on the internet, and that obviously played into me getting the job. So to answer those questions, how can we enhance our online reputation while still having some fun on the internet? And talk about that in the comments below.